Our next page in the taco manual takes us to the iconic tongue tacos. Now, before you just click away from this, I'm going to say, bear with me, because if you can't imagine having tongue, I'm going to entice you to do that. I take people to Mexico all the time, and when we go to taquerias, I always order tongue tacos for them. And to tell you the truth, it's usually their favorite thing. Why? First of all, because it's really good. It's really, really rich meat. It doesn't taste gamey like other innards might taste at all. In fact, it's just got one of the most delicious textures of any meat that comes off of that animal. Okay, so let's just go through this. I'm going to give you an easy way and a regular way. Okay, easy way is to go to a deli. I'm going to just reach over here and grab this and buy smoked tongue. Okay, sometimes it will be peeled, sometimes it won't. If it's got the skin still on it, then just cut that off. But buy a chunk that's about 1¼ pounds. That will get you started in this process, and you can have tongue without having to go through the cooking process. If you go to a Mexican grocery store, you will always find tongue there. I think always. And you can go to other butchers and they can order one for you if they don't carry it in their stores. But this is what a medium-sized one will look like. It's about 2½ pounds or so. Now, I'll tell you 3 different ways to cook it because it's a tougher cut that yields very beautifully to long, slow cooking. So think about a slow cooker. It'll take about 8 hours or so in a slow cooker. You can also just simmer it on the stove top. There, it'll probably take about 3 hours to get really tender. If I were you, I'd put a small knife in there, twist it a little bit and make sure that it's really tender. Or I know a lot of you have pressure cookers like the electric Instant Pot. An hour and a half, 90 minutes in this will be perfect for doing the tongue. That's what I'm using to show you this process today. So I said you simmer it in water to cover. And you know what I put in here is an onion sliced up, say 4 cloves of garlic. You might want to cut them in half so that they yield more of their flavor. A little thyme, bay, and a couple teaspoons of salt. That's what I put in here. Nothing fancy. Now I've cooked this one and let it cool down till it's handleable now. So I'm going to take the tongue out of here and show you what that looks like when it's ready. Okay, it comes up like this. This is the place where everybody will go, ooh, because yes, it is a tongue. It looks like a tongue. Get all the little pieces of onion and some of the herbs off of that. And then I've got it over here on some paper towels like this so that I can kind of pat it dry. Now you want to do the cleaning of it when it is still slightly warm. I mean, obviously, I've let this cool down till I can touch it and hold it. But you want to strip this skin off of it. So you pull that like that, and it just comes off. And it should come off pretty easily, like that. Now this is very tender tongue, and that's exactly what you're looking for because that will make the end result really, really wonderful. Okay, now I think I've got some more of the skin to strip off on this side, like that. And then 2 places you want to look. This one was trimmed really tightly on this end. So usually if they're not trimmed very much, you'll just put your hands there and feel some cartilage, some sort of bony cartilage. I don't feel any there, so I'm not going to cut that off. This part that's kind of fatty at the base here, I usually take that part of it off, though it's not only the fatty parts of it. If you feel like that is necessary for you, one little errant piece of the skin right there. And then I'm going to cut this up into pieces that will fit nicely in a taco. Now I'm starting back here on this end because I want to make sure that I don't have any of that bony cartilage in there. So cut there. And then I'm going to cut each one of these slices into smaller pieces, and then we're going to brown that. Now, my favorite place to go for tongue tacos in Mexico City is a place that's called Cucuyos, and they have the already cooked tongue that they fry until it's kind of crispy, and that's the direction that I'm taking this one, because I want to show you what I think is the best way to serve the tongue. The tongue, because it's a very rich piece of meat and it is quite soft at this point, I want to crisp it up. So I'm just turning each of these pieces of sliced tongue now into small cubes. So to crisp up the tongue, I'm putting a very large skillet, this is a cast iron skillet, over about a medium-high heat. And we're going to just let that heat, getting it really hot before we put the meat in there. And while we're waiting for that to heat up, I'm going to make this salsa. Now, typically a salsa verde, one made from tomatillos, is going to be the perfect combination with the richness of this meat because it's tangy. And you've seen me make a roasted tomatillo salsa before. You've seen me make an all raw tomatillo salsa before, but in this one, I'm going to combine those two because I want the crunchy freshness of the one that's made with raw tomatillos, but I want the richness and the texture of one that's made with roasted tomatillos. So I have some roasted tomatillos here. I have some garlic that was roasted alongside of it, and I'm peeling the little papery skins now off of the garlic here. So you can see how incredibly soft it is, and it will have some nice browned edges that will add a lot of flavor to the salsa. And once I get those peeled, I'm going to just throw them into a blender jar now. This is a roasted habanero with something gutsy like the tongue tacos. I like to have something that's pretty spicy. The 4 tomatillos that were roasted, and then we have 4 tomatillos here that I'm going to cut into quarters just to make them easier to blend in with everything else. So this will give us that beautiful fresh crunch and lively texture and taste. And then we'll just blend it till it's a sort of, I'm going to say, coarse puree is what I'm going to call this. So we'll scoop these guys in there. It wouldn't be a salsa verde without some cilantro. So I'm just going to tear off some cilantro and put that in there, and then put the top on it and blend it. Now you can see it still has some texture in it when I pour it in here. I'm looking for that for sure. We have one other ingredient that's going to go in here. It's a little bit of onion. This is a pretty large onion, and we just need a half of a small one, so about a quarter of that will do it. So I'll go ahead and slice this one way, and then I'm going to cut it this way to make small dice. Now, because this is going to go into the salsa raw, I am going to rinse it off, which you've seen me do many times, because that takes away that strong onion flavor that certainly doesn't agree with everybody, and I think can overwhelm the salsa really fast. So I've got a strainer here, and I'm just going to scoop this onion into the strainer, and we're going to take it over to the sink and rinse it off under cold water. I recommend this with any preparation that's going to have raw onion in it. You have created a sulfurous compound just by cutting up the onion, bringing 2 elements together. You made it, you can get rid of it. So I'm going to put that on top there. Of course, I need to season it with salt. My experience tells me that a scant teaspoon is the right amount for this, so I'll put that in there. And then we'll just stir it up and it should be ready. Let's check the texture when we're doing this. It looks like the perfect texture to me. It doesn't need any water added to it. I'm gonna give that a taste and see if it's seasoned right. Man, that looks so good. I love this sort of variation of half raw and half roasted. Beautiful, especially with that spicy habanero in there. It's really great. So our pan is warm here. No, it's not warm. It's really hot right now. I'm going to do this all over about a medium-high heat. You can brown in oil. I'm using a little fresh rendered pork lard here. And you want to get a nice even coating over the whole bottom of this pan. About like that. So it's not just a very thin film, it's a little more than a thin film. And now that will heat up really fast, I'm gonna lay the tongue in there, spreading it out into an even layer. I don't want it stacked up. That's why I'm using this really big pan. If you have a smaller pan than this, you'll probably want to do this in 2 batches. And we're going to leave it undisturbed for 2 or 3 minutes until it gets really crispy on one side. Then we'll gently turn everything over and brown it on the other side. I can see that there is a lot of beautiful browning going on here. Heating the pan ahead and then getting that, look at that. You can't imagine how delicious this smells right now. If you like short rib, this is a sort of short rib-like smell and taste. Turn over those last few pieces there. Boy, this is great. We're gonna let it go for another couple of minutes and brown the other side, and then we're ready to make tacos. Now, if the richness of this meat isn't enough, you might want to put a slice of avocado on each one of them. One of the ways that you can do that is what I'm showing you right here, except that one's not starting well. And that is to just cut down to the pit and make little slices like that that come out with the skin on them. I'm gonna turn this off now because it's ready to go. I've got warm tortillas here. I will put a couple of them down here. These are steamy hot. And we will top them with some of the tongue meat. I'm just going to take it straight out of the skillet and lay that there. Now, if that doesn't look enticing, I think I haven't done my job, okay? Because this is like one of my favorite things, and I think you've already picked that part of it up. So we've got the crispy tongue now on here. I would put the salsa on next. Just a spoonful of it across each one. And then I'm going to take the avocado and just peel that skin right off of it like that. Lay that over the top. And then we've got tongue tacos for the ages. I think you're going to love these.